Hello everyone and welcome in our new video update. Today I'm going to show you a new alpha version which we released just before Christmas, and we didn't have a time to announce it properly until now. So I'm going to show you the new version, what's fixed and what's new, and let's jump straight into it. First thing you may notice is that we've changed main menu a little bit. It has new graphics, but more things are hidden in a settings menu, because right now, first thing, we fixed the high detail crash setting, but we also added show FPS function, so you can see how fast or slow the game is running. And we also added advanced settings when you can set a lot of options, custom options, where you can customize the settings for your game to fit your rig properly. The main feature of this alpha version is a quest that will show you alchemy and also the basic structure or style of the quest that we will have. It has several different solutions. You can solve it in many different ways. It's quite non-linear and has some moral choices. And while it's quite simple side quests, you can say, it's on the other hand long enough and I would say hopefully interesting. Of course, that since we don't have all the game mechanics implemented, we couldn't use combat or stealth. So currently we just use mostly branching dialogues. You can solve the quest by talking to people, using your different stats like charisma, strength, or reputation, and also you can collect herbs and use, the most important part, use alchemy to help this sick guy. This is a farmer who says that he was poisoned by someone and has terrible diarrhea. Basically your goal is to find out who poisoned him and make him a cure. As you can see in these dialogues, we've changed another thing, and it's hair. I promise that we changed them, and so we have a new hair. It's still a little bit unfinished. So the technology works, but we have little issues with the lighting, and we only have a few types of hairs. So this is going to still be improved a lot, but you can see the way we are heading, and it's much better than before. So let's back to the quest. Right now the guy told me that somebody poisoned him, and that it was a bartender from the local pub, and that he wants me to prove that it was her, because he's kind of upset. And he tells me that she hates him and she did it on purpose. I can ask him several things, and he has terrible problems. Basically he is producing blood out of his ass. I don't know. So this puts me on a kind of little bit of detective investigations, where I can ask witnesses or people that are involved in this little problem, and I'm promised to get money out of this. So in this case I can ask him several questions to get more information. Most important question is what are the symptoms of the sickness. They are terrible, but I will need this information later, and also about the motives of the bartender and all the different stuff. I will skip it for now. But these informations are very important when you will be talking with other people in the village, because you can confront their answers with the answers of the others. So you can prove basically that somebody is lying if he says something to you and it doesn't fit to some of his other statements or statements of someone else. So now I know everything from this guy, and I can proceed to talk to other people. This is the fisherman who was in the pub when the farmer says when he was poisoned. As you can see, if you have AMD card, you can see that the blue or purple water effect is gone. We fixed it with the help of Crytek, and I can talk to the fisherman. Basically, right now you can see that the guy doesn't want to talk about it much, and I can try to force him to speak by using my charisma, my speech, or my strength. If I use speech, basically I will argument with him. If I use charisma, I will try to be nice, and if I have expensive clothes, for example, he will think that I'm somebody noble, and he will be more willing to speak with me. And the strength, you must be strong, which I'm not right now. So I will try my speech, because my speech is quite high, and try to ask him, and you can see that I succeeded. This guy is not very smart, so I can easily outsmart him. And he, surprisingly, he tells me something different than the farmer. So now I have something that I can confront the farmer with, and I can even get more information out of him. I will try the speech again, and I again succeed. And suddenly I know different version of the story. That is that she wasn't poisoned, he wasn't poisoned, and that he was trying to start an affair with the bartender, and she refused him. So it seems like some kind of revenge from him. And he even tells me that they were not eating at all, so he couldn't be poisoned. You can also see that we have few new models of the characters, and again they still are work in progress. We are currently using a very simple our own proprietary 3D scanner made out of several very cheap cameras. We plan to do the final 3D scans of the characters with much more sophisticated rig or setup in professional studio. So the character heads are just work in progress, and of course some people were complaining that they are not moving, animated, or speaking. It's just dialogues. I am sorry for that, but to make voiceovers at this moment, it would be quite waste of money. It's all just work in progress. Voiceovers are done as the last thing, and since we plan to have a full motion captured faces in case of some dialogues and cutscenes. Of course, we don't have facial animations right now, so you must wait a little bit longer until this will be implemented, and so far it's just dialogues written on the screen. So basically I can discuss with the bartender, and she tells me another totally opposite story to the fisherman and to the farmer. Basically she says that they are both lying, and each one in different way, so they are not even very good liars. And of course any one of them could be lying. So the bartender could be lying, the fisherman could be lying, and it's up to me to find out whose version is the most probable one. And in the end, she tells me if I help her, she will also pay me some money. So now I have to decide if I will help her or help the farmer, who offered me a little bit more, I guess. Another thing we could do is to talk to local bailiff, who also has issues with the affairs of the bartender and farmer, and is willing to pay me some money by solving who is the victim and who is the criminal. But currently we can skip this part, and let me show you what other new thing in the alpha. I wasn't there yet, but I already know that I will need charcoal. So here we have a place where charcoal is produced, and I can pick up small pieces of coal that I will need later for the alchemy. I can also pick up some coal at blacksmith place, I guess. So now I have 5 pieces of coal. You can see that already some stats are implemented. I have a speech 14. I can pick up objects, and we have a new map of the location. We can have full screen. We have a new icon for the player. Currently it's not possible to zoom the map, but it's gonna be. We will have several different types of maps and several layers of zooms, so you can zoom out and you will see a world map. This is not done yet, so we removed zooming, but later it's gonna be enabled again. So now I was told by the farmer that a local herbalist could help him, but that she doesn't like him too much, so I shouldn't be telling her for who I'm going to need the cure. So let's go to her place. So this is the place of the herbalist. She is here. She also has new very dirty hairs, and I'm sorry, but thanks to our some animation problems, she's only able to sit on a bench and look down to the floor, but I could talk to her and ask her for the cure for the runs of the farmer. But she asks me for who it is, and I have several options how to try to lie to her or tell her for who it is. If I tell her that it's for Jerry, she will not be very happy. But so I am a young, strong man. She's old, poor woman. So I can try to be aggressive and tell her that it's none of her business, and I will succeed because she's scared of me. But she will also want some money from a person that's not nice to her. So basically there are some consequences behind every decision you make in the dialogues, and you can't repeat what you said, or you can try different options. So what's said is said, and you can change it. Another thing is that she needs to know what type of what are the conditions of the problem of the farmer. So since I've asked him what are the symptoms, I can tell to her, and she immediately will tell me that I need to find some ingredients for her to be able to produce a cure. And she will also tell me that it's not possible that the farmer would be poisoned from normal food, that it must be from meat. So it's a hint that he might be lying, because he said he wasn't eating meat. So she has the money, I have the money, I paid, and now I need to get the ingredients. And I already have a coal, but I will also need nettles and thistle, and 5 of each. So let me search for it. It's, by the way, the herb collecting is another new mechanism we added. So now you can collect herbs from the ground. Later in the game you will be able to collect many different kinds of herbs. Now it's just these 2 asked by the herbalist, and she told me where they are. Nettles are quite common almost everywhere. And when I tell everywhere, it basically means that I will not be able to find them anywhere at this moment. But it's getting dark. And I can show you another feature. Well, will I? Yeah, hopefully. I can buy some stuff if I have the money. So basically I can buy the herbs I need, but I don't have money for them. I can buy even the antidote, but it's super expensive. And I can buy a jacket which will improve my charisma, so it will give me more options in the dialogues. I will be able to convince some people to charisma, and I can buy a torch. But problem is that it costs 8 and I have 7, so I will have to sell something. I will sell my hood and I will buy the torch. So I can show you another feature that we added, which is a skip time. So now you are able to skip time to see different period of the day, or to go through night, because it's not possible to speak with anyone. Currently the skip time is quite slow. It's because we need to simulate everything in the background and it's not optimized yet. So hopefully it's going to be much faster later, but anyway, it's much faster than play it in the game. So here we are again in the morning, so we can see, and my goal is to find some nettles and thistle. And nettles are everywhere, as I just said, so I can pick them easily. I need just 5. Some people are complaining that there is an animation during the herb collecting. The reason is that we have 2 types of herbs. One are common herbs that are everywhere and in great amounts, so you basically pick them up by weight or large amount of them. And it would look weird if you just grab for them and suddenly several herbs would disappear. So we decided that we will have third-person animation that will kind of look better. And then we have standalone herbs or unique herbs, where you pick just 1 piece, and these should be picked up as normal as from first-person view. So now I need 5 thistles, which is a problem because they are quite rare. If you have problem finding them, some people produced a map. It's available on our forums where they are, which will take some time to find them, but there's like 10 pieces on the map. So after several hours of searching for a thistle, I have 6 pieces now, and I can proceed to the herbalist and start making the potion. As you can see, I have 6 thistles, 6 nettles, 5 coal, which should be enough. I have 10 groches and a torch. By the way, the quest log is working partly. We had a problem. I'm sorry. There's a known bug that there is no visible map on in the quest log. So normally there should be a map, and the flags indicate points of interest in the quest. And also the quest log is right now not fully working. You can see that you don't see all goals, so you don't see that you need to pick up 5 pieces of the thistle and coal. It's going to be fixed, but first version of quest log is also working right now. So now I have everything I need, and I can start producing. Ask the herbalist to make the cure, and she will offer me that I can learn how to make it myself. And here we produced another version of Alchemy Lab. Basically is a poor man's laboratory. It has the same functions as the one we showed in the videos, but looks much poorer. And so let me start. So here we have a recipe book which says that I need to make the antidote by preparing water, putting 2 fistfuls of thistle into water and boil it for 2 turns of a scent clock, and then add the 1 piece of nettle and boil it for another turn, then leave it to cool and put some charcoal in it. The minigame currently has quite big tolerance for mistakes, so if you do everything in right order, the timing is not that important, but it should be in the more complicated potions. You can press enter to and the game will automatically prepare the ingredients on the shelf. So first thing I need to do is to pick up water and put it into the pot. Now I will start fire and boil the water. And I will put two fistfuls of thistle into the water. I can start the hourglass and boil it for 2 turns. Now we will add the nettle. Boil it a little bit longer. And finally we will add the coal. And it should be prepared so we can put it in the bottle. And now I am glad if it's gonna work, because the last time it didn't. Yes, I brewed the antidote. So I will not finish and spoil the resolution of the quest for you, but the decision who you're gonna help and who you think is the one who poisoned the farmer is up to you. There are some clues that you can find that will also help you to find the criminal, and also you can still play 2 previous quests that are there. So you can play the quest with the flute, you can look for the sheep, and you can win in a bow contest. So there is quite a content. On top of that, we fixed some bugs, so the game should be a little bit more stable. And of course, the very annoying and the biggest bug of them all from the last version, the flying people doing weird stuff on weird places, is also has also disappeared. It was quite tough for the programmers to find out why it's happening. Next time, for the next alpha version, is going to be focused on lockpicking, so we will add a little bit of stealth. You'll be able to pick locks and chests, and hopefully there's going to be another small quest where you will use these mechanics to get some stuff. And hopefully we will add another new feature, which is awareness of NPCs of the player. So currently NPCs are not hearing or seeing you in a way that could be used in stealth. It's the biggest function of AI that's still missing, and we are going to implement it very soon. So hopefully it's going to be in next alpha as well. That's probably it. thank you for your support. Hopefully you are enjoying the game, even if it's still sometimes a little buggy. It's still work in progress, so I hope everybody understands why. And see you next month.